Girls of Reddit, what is something you don't think enough guys realize about being a girl? PPF period poker face. I could be giving a presentation, working a full day, leading a team meeting etc. and I just might be shedding the lining of my uterus at that very moment. I might be feeling sharp, stabbing pains or experiencing a sudden onset cramp, but you could never tell by looking at me. Maybe I take a small pause when walking, maybe I'm a tiny bit slower getting up, but the PPF is strong with this one. Also, most people know this, but don't joke about periods making women irrational, or say things like, whoa, someone is on their period, haha. It's very far from the majority, but I don't think guys realize just how many creepy men are out there. You can be having an interesting, normal conversation with an older stranger, and suddenly he's touching your leg. A friendly guy your age can suddenly get angry when you don't reciprocate his interest. It can make you wary of everybody, at least for a while after an incident happens. Why the hell do some 60-yo men think 20-yo women will be interested in them? Were they interested in 60-year-old women when they were 20? I mean, I'm sure there are some creepy women out there, I guess. But there's not an almost guaranteed physical power imbalance at play. We cannot control our periods. At all. They don't feel like peeing, and aren't anything like going to the bathroom. No amount of clenching stops it from happening. So you can't just tell a woman to hold it if she says she needs to go to the bathroom to check on it. When periods happen, can sort of be controlled by birth control, but for a lot of women that doesn't work, or has too many side effects to be worth it. Some women lose their periods entirely when they have an IUD, some don't. Same with the pill, patch, etc. Every woman is different. As for how a period feels, it feels like when you risk everything on a shot because you know you're not going to be able to stop it anyway. It just comes out unless you have something in there to stop it. Certain things like standing up after laying down, etc. make more gravity and all 1 + 1 = crab walk to the bathroom. If women could control our periods, rest assured we would. The large majority of us would opt to either never have them, or only have them at times convenient to us. YOUH period, if you could come around today from maybe 6 to 8 PM, when I'm home doing nothing, and then just go away, that'd be fantastic. Thanks. We'll schedule more time later. I know most men know that women can't control when they get their period. I just think a lot of them don't realize it's not like peeing. There is no amount of clenching, gritting our teeth, or crossing our legs that stops it from happening. A lot of us can't even delay the inevitable in the 5-foot trek from our bedrooms to the bathroom and end up swearing in despair at another lost pair of underwear. Birth control is not for everyone. It can bring on depression, and in my case, a Depo-Provera shot sent me into the worst bout of bipolar I've ever had. It lasted months, and took almost a year to recover from. All the stereotypically great things about being a woman only applies if you're an attractive woman. If you're an ugly woman, your life is shit. Benefits of being an ugly woman. Nothing is expected of you, at all. Not as many people telling you to smile. Less creeps bombard you with creepiness. Shortcomings of being an ugly woman. Comments about your beauty and helpful hints and tips are abound. Men will literally look straight through you. You still have all the shortcomings of being a woman anyway. Honestly, how easy/common it is to literally feel like prey around men. Not all men, and not all the time, but still far too ducking often. In some situations you just feel like you literally have to be on guard constantly and protect yourself. It's better to be consistently on edge and look out for yourself than it is to be trusting and risk being taken advantage of. We are not deliberately trying to make you feel bad when we get nervous being alone with you, if we don't know you, and more, especially if it's in a place or situation in which no one would hear if we screamed. It just happens. It's not something under our conscious control. I guess just how much emotional labor we often do. It used to be the man makes the money, the woman takes care of the man, and frankly, I never have a problem with this as a concept, just as the only concept. These days, a lot of women have joined the workforce, alleviating some of the male breadwinning, and that's great for both parties, but the change from men being the breadwinners has come faster than the change from women being caretakers, and so a lot of times, women find themselves brought up to take care of their partners, but then end up working as well, and men don't always have an upbringing that teaches them the give/take of. Emotional labor. It goes a long way when male partners do a bit more of this lifting. You have no idea how much we appreciate it. It is so insulting when everyone assumes I want kids. Oh, you'll change your mind. I hate it. Everyone thinks it's all cute and nice. I know how pregnancy works in my family. No way. And then I try to get fixed, but the doctors never let me because I'm in my early 20s and that's a permanent decision. Even though I'm allowed to make tons of permanent decision. Also, having a baby is permanent too. I'm so sick of periods. My uterus does nothing for me. I don't want to get pregnant ever. It just causes pain for no reason. Body hair, and I'm not talking like bits and leg hair. Stray coarse hair on the chin, black randus on the breasts, and some women have hairy stomachs and/or happy trails too. As we get older, especially so. I'm in my early 30s, and so my body is shifting to producing more testosterone. So every day it's yanking more of those suckers out with tweezers. This is a little TMI, but when girls with long hair shower, the hair manages to collect in the butt crack, and we have to pull our clumps of hair from there. Fear is something ingrained in us from a very early age. It comes with a side of asking for it undertones. I don't really notice it day to say, but if I'm on a bus or train or anywhere where it's just me and a guy stranger, I get really uncomfortable really fast. I hate it that I do, but I really do. I can't imagine what it would be like to have people fear me for no reason. Size makes a huge difference in your experience of the world. I mean physical size, height, build. A lot of men have no idea what it is like to walk around in a world where 50% of the people you meet are bigger and/or stronger than you. We wonder why women don't always do as well in business, or why they seem more timid and less assertive in general. If you're an average guy, imagine living in a world where you're surrounded mostly by giant linebackers, where most of them, even the skinny, wimpy ones, could easily overpower you. Yeah, that's the world a lot of women live in day to day. Those guys that can be friends with a girl without catching feelings for them and making things weird. We appreciate you more than you know. I legitimately get upset when I hang out with a guy for a couple weeks, have fun, feel comfortable, feel the start to a great friendship, then get hit with a text of them expressing their feelings for me or asking if we would ever be more than friends. That shit is honestly frustrating. Just because I'm being polite to you doesn't mean I want or date you. I just enjoy being a nice human to everyone, and some men, not all, turn it into me hitting on them. Also, if you know I have a boyfriend, please stop asking me out. I obviously don't want to, and I shouldn't have to mention I have a boyfriend. If I say no, it's because I'm uninterested or have my reasons. I don't owe you an explanation. Sometimes the answer is just no. It's hard to explain, but especially once you've started working, the pressure to have an equal share of two qualities and never too much of one is really intense. For example, if a female boss is strict about the rules, she might be seen as a. If a male boss is strict, he's generally seen as a good boss or maybe a boss who has high expectations. Women are expected to be both nurturing and assertive, but if we skew too much in one direction, we are disliked or seen as ineffective. This applies to other areas too. Style. Too feminine and you might be seen as a. Too masculine and you might be seen as frumpy or a lesbian. Emotions. Cry too much? Probably on your period. Stoic. Probably a heartless. Skills. Great at cooking. Oh, you're so domestic and ready for motherhood. Great at sports. You're probably a lesbian. The list goes on. But I really don't think men understand how often we are expected to manage this perfect balance. That is, dress in a way that shows off your femininity without showing off too much skin / getting unwanted attention in areas from dating to the workplace to parenting. Probably the belittlement of being called girl when you're not a child. Have no offense to Op personally, but it's pretty bad. Not every woman hates it, but I certainly do, and I'm not the only one. Also, being referred to as animals by nature of being female, that is, chicks. Just because I'm not smiling doesn't mean I'm grumpy or unhappy, or that something is wrong. Men have straight faces most of the time, and no one assumes they're grouchy because of it, and it seems like very few men realize that women are people just like you. I hate the assumption that just because a woman paying for shit at a gas station or walking down the hallway at work doesn't smile through the interaction, she's a bitch or upset with you. It isn't about you. I'm sure this isn't all guys, but it definitely doesn't sit well. Telling someone that in order to get a guy they'll have to give up their hobby. Yeah, no. Definitely had some man say that to me and it pissed me off.